Many young volunteers help us at the 2-day winter ed distribution in Luquan, Yunnan. Hong Kong has become one of the world's most popular countries for foreign students to pursue higher education. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Margaret Lin. Thank you for joining us. We begin today's program in China. Yunnan Province's Luquan is an autonomous county for Yi and Miao minorities, where many of the residents live in poverty. This year, the local government invited Tzu Chi volunteers to hold a winter ed distribution in this area. On the first day of the event, more than 200 young volunteers mobilized to help distribute aid to nearly 3,000 people. At 7 in the morning and with a low temperature of 2 degrees Celsius, volunteers start to prepare for an aid distribution. They relay these supplies from the warehouse to the venue for the distribution, with many people being out of breath. Many local residents have already come to wait for the distribution to start. Yunnan's winter ed distribution was held at the Luquan First High School. On the 2 days over the weekend, more than 600 Tzu Chi volunteers and local volunteers have served more than 10 times the number of people needing help. Volunteers divided into 2 groups to distribute supplies without neglecting any details. After receiving the rice, quilts, and cooking oil, the aid recipients cannot hide their smiles. But there's actually a bitter story behind their smile.
We have 4 children. 2 of them have finished their education at the junior high school. The other 2 children have left home to do a part-time job. Since we're an old couple and we are neither able to make money nor build our home, we thank you for your kindness. Now we can enjoy a better Lunar New Year.
Volunteers who have compassion have helped those who need help. When we get out of poverty and become rich someday, we will help other people that need love and care. We will spread love just like the way Tzu Chi does.
As this year's first winter distribution in Luquan, Yunnan, many young people have come to volunteer. However, to ensure the smooth distribution, they must first solve the problem of how to drive more than 200 volunteers from Kunming to the distribution venue in a remote mountainous area.
We have to negotiate with the government and the school. Since the students have exams these days, the use of our venue is limited, so we can only follow the government's instructions.
Many women have also joined the ranks of the volunteers to help with the distribution. This is the biggest wish of local volunteers.
I wanted to volunteer at this event earlier before, but I hadn't had time to do so due to my work.
Student Xu Te, who lives a difficult life, enriches his soul through the acts of giving. Even though he has injured his hands when he moves heavy items, he doesn't reduce his enthusiasm for serving others.
Seeing that they show a sincere smile and express their gratitude after receiving the supplies, I feel very moved.
I hope the goodness and contribution of Tzu Chi can also inspire students' compassion. At the beginning, it was me who participated in a Tzu Chi activity, but later I brought my students to come here.
No matter whether the volunteers participate in this event for the first time or they have many experiences of serving the needy, they all feel worthwhile when seeing the residents' sincere smiles. Chile Tzu Chi volunteers celebrated a year-end blessing ceremony at the Padre Hurtado Center and also prepared vegetarian dishes. At the same time, Tzu Chi volunteers also invited local volunteers to do recycling at Tzu Chi's first Tzu Chi recycling point, also promoting a vegetarian diet on the streets.
The first Tzu Chi recycling point in Chile has accumulated no odor for 7 years because the couple, Liao Qingzhou and Wu Huilan, are diligent and sometimes sort the bottles overnight. There are some overseas Chinese who regularly donate cardboards to Tzu Chi, even the staff fully cooperating together to protect the earth and save the poor.
Ya. Ah, ya. Entonces sabe.
Sí, obviamente estamos. 所以他们都有认同，所以他们也是做得很快乐的。
To alleviate the burden on the earth, The human body should also be kept away from the burden of overnutrition, as Tzu Chi volunteers even advise the public to go meatless by walking on the street and receive many friendly responses.
It's a great campaign. We are vegetarian. Eating meatless won't hurt any animals. It's a good eating habit.
Chilean people act in response to the wishes of a vegetable diet as well as carbon reduction efforts. Meanwhile, there are some special guests attending a Tzu Chi year-end blessing ceremony at Padre Hurtado Center to express their gratitude to Tzu Chi.
I'm impressed what Tzu Chi has done. I'm honored to have the chance to attend Tzu Chi's activities in the past. To those who lack resources in society, Tzu Chi has done a lot of effort. I'm so impressed. As a representative, I want to use this opportunity to express my gratitude to Tzu Chi.
The residents also brought bamboo coin banks to the event to contribute their love. Each participant was also invited to enjoy the vegetarian diet to cherish the only planet that we all have.
At Tzu Chi's year-end blessing ceremony in the Philippines, more than 100 Tzu Chi members gathered in the Jinsi Hall to attend the event. At the occasion, volunteers shared with the attendees the footprints of Tzu Chi's charity and medical missions over the past year. In addition to formerly conjoined twin girls who have received a successful separation surgery in Taiwan, also show up at the event to send blessings. More than 100 Tzu Chi members are attending the year-end blessing ceremony held by Tzu Chi Philippines chapter. The two girls singing touches many people. Many people are watching these twin girls grow up. The twin girls were born joined. In 2003, with the assistance of Tzu Chi, they were able to come to Taiwan to undergo separation surgery. Their father has participated in the Work for Relief program at a recycling station, and their mother has been certified as a Tzu Chi volunteer. At the Buddha Day ceremony in 2014, the twin girls expressed their sincere gratitude.
Kami po ay nagpapasalamat kay Master Cheng Yen. Siya po ang nagbigay ng kalayaan at mapayapang buhay. Para rin pong pangalawang nanay po namin siya.
Now the twin girls are already 16 years old. They are the most powerful testimony who garner goodness throughout the Philippines.
In Tzu Chi people's eyes, everyone is equal. As long as they need help, Tzu Chi will come to help them. This is why I think putting the money into the coin bank every day is a great help to them.
Over the past year, Tzu Chi has worked non-stop to conduct disaster relief. The CEO of Tzu Chi Philippines chapter feels grateful for everyone's support.
Tzu Chi has many works to do. However, without your support, Tzu Chi volunteers are unable to complete their missions.
With everyone's compassion and efforts, love will continue to be spread throughout the country. In Taipei, Taiwan, Tzu Chi volunteer Xu Yinghua and his wife, Gao Shuzhen, once owned a large amount of debt because of their children. To pay off the debt, they started to contact Tzu Chi, and ever since, they have been engaged in Tzu Chi's recycling work for over a decade. They have even helped their three children become honorary board members of Tzu Chi.
While most people are still asleep at 3 in the morning, Xu Yinghua has already begun his day.
He isn't picky, but he's diligent, industrious, and he never complains. I don't know how to describe this couple, but they are nice people.
After finishing their work in the market, the couple rushes to their next job. They are working so hard to pay the debts for their children.
They didn't listen. The two just kept on charting things on their cards and ended up owing $68,000.
The couple shouldered a large debt of $68,000, and they worked so hard to pay it. However, there was more trouble awaiting them.
My son was driving and hit a girl who didn't wait at the turning area on her scooter, and she died on the spot.
The traffic accident is a trouble that Gao Shuzhen cannot overcome easily. Tzu volunteers' love brings warmth to Gao Shuzhen and also allows her to restart again.
I told my husband that since Brother Huang needed 2 people to help him, and it was late after we finished our daytime work, we could help him. And we've been doing recycling since 2007.
You don't get paid for volunteering, you go and help, such as cleaning up people's homes after floods. Everyone enjoys doing it. The more you do, the better.
For years, this couple helped each other and finally cleared all the debts. They have also helped their 3 children become Tzu Chi's honorary board members. They have also realized the worst suffering is to keep thinking about your trouble.
To many people, Hong Kong is a city dominated by banks and commerce. However, the QS World University Rankings found that Hong Kong was the 11th most suitable place to study in the world. In recent years, many Chinese students as well as Taiwanese students have come to Hong Kong for the purpose of pursuing higher education. Many are interested in the advantages offered by Hong Kong, which help them develop a more diversified resume.
Victoria Harbour is bound by high-rise buildings on both sides, with lots of flashing lights, which some have described as the Pearl of the Orient. During the day, Hong Kong is dominated by commercial buildings, which form the skyline, outlining an urban jungle. Long ago, Hong Kong was just a small fishing village. After the Nanjing Treaty in 1842, the area was ceded to England, as it became a bustling commercial territory which continued to attract young students. Because of historical factors, Hong Kong is the place where Chinese and Western cultures meet. It also benefits from excellent information and infrastructure, being particularly important in international financial markets. Hong Kong also attracts many Chinese and Taiwan students to pursue higher education.
I would rather come to Hong Kong or Singapore, as there is lots of information available in these areas, which I think is more conducive to my learning.
Hong Kong is a very important city gateway to China.
Hong Kong is not only a transport hub, but also ranked 11th in 2017 in a survey of the best study abroad cities in the world and 3rd in Asia. In 2015 and 2016 even entered the top 10 in global rankings, with urban population of at least 250,000 and at least 2 universities. The QS World University Rankings also uses urban employment prospects as one of its ranking factors.
I have considered this as Hong Kong salaries are higher, as I also want to earn more, as I would need to consider staying here. However, I think my ultimate goal is to use Hong Kong as springboard into another area.
As a springboard, Hong Kong is just 4 times the size of Taipei, though its population is over 7 million people. Despite the high density, it remains a highly attractive territory, and with the trend of globalization, Hong Kong emphasizes qualified personnel in higher education as one of its advantages.
In terms of technology, I think that Taiwan has a great advantage in terms of language interaction. But I think that Taiwan is a place where I want to go back in the future. However, Hong Kong has given me a lot of vision and resources for me in recent years, allowing me to grow.
Not only are Taiwanese students drawn to Hong Kong, in recent years Chinese students have also fled to Hong Kong for higher education. The University of Hong Kong is the most reputable institution in Hong Kong, while the admission rate at its 8 public departments being just 20%. In recent years, the Hong Kong government has been actively internationalizing higher education in Hong Kong to attract foreign students. Of the 60 students in a class, some 10% are either from Taiwan or China. However, at the graduate institute level, the situation was reversed, with 90% of students from China.
Hong Kong college students look for jobs after they graduate, but Taiwan students want to go to graduate study and then find work. This means that for Hong Kong undergraduate, the summers between their sophomore, junior, and senior years are very important, as this is the only time they can do internships. Typically, they do volunteer services from freshman to sophomore years.
Because of our issues regarding academic credit, we might not go to the research institute that we want. In fact, the subjects that we study in university may just be key to helping us get a job.
Luo Si-ching is a student at the Hong Kong Art School and is determined to become a young female director. She believes Hong Kong's higher education is quite competitive, as competition for spaces amongst international students is quite hot.
Being a foreign student is quite difficult, as there are few spaces and lots of competition. This is even leading to fewer spots for Chinese students, as they are now facing even more pressure.
Because Hong Kong is a very realistic place, many are concerned about high-quality diplomas, which may be related to better salaries.
Despite high housing prices, many are pursuing their education in Hong Kong with an eye towards their future career development. However, more competition could lead many people to think twice about such a career path.
The earthquake which struck Mexico led countless houses to collapse. A junior high school next to the Tzu distribution spot in Zacatepec City was almost ruined, but luckily there were no casualties. However, now the students can only study in the temporary camp, and the reconstruction work seems to be far off.
In Zacatepec City of Mexico, this junior high school behind me consisted of 5 two-story buildings, but now we can see that there's only ruined stairs left. The temporary classrooms won't be completed till the end of January. How do the students go to class without classrooms? These 19 temporary camps are the solution.
It's much harder to concentrate in class now comparing to the past, because now we are studying in the outdoor camp and there are more noises.
The earthquake completely ruined the school, but we are lucky that there are no injuries. Now we can only set up camps under the tree as a temporary classrooms. 18 camps are used as classrooms for students to rotate their classes in the morning and afternoon, and there are 36 classes of students in the whole school.
Witnessing this kind of natural disaster collapsing the school made me feel that I should study harder.
Although it's harder to go to class now without the teaching materials and desks and chair, but as long as we have a will to continue studying, we can take classes anywhere.
I'm more driven to learn to have my own expertise now, and my dream is to become a veterinarian.
I'm very touched because this time not only the students but the teachers are also affected. However, I saw that the disaster connects the students more closely and pushes them to be more driven and aggressive in their studies. I feel very comforted.
The students actually get used to the new environment quite fast, but we still hope that the school can be rebuilt as soon as possible because it is quite cold inside the camp in the morning. We should be thankful when we encounter difficulties. This is a rare opportunity for us to learn about this spirit.
In Taiwan, while some may experience mobility issues, causing them to live a sedentary life at the age of 80, there are some elders who continue to be energetic at this age. For example, in Danshui, there are 3 elderly Tzu Chi volunteers who are very eager to participate in volunteer activities. Let's take a look.
I was in my 60s when I joined Tzu Chi, as I moved slowly because my joints ache. But I don't want to take medicine because it could hurt my kidneys. But when one of the leaders of the volunteers called, I took some medicine and went out to do this volunteer work.
I'll go out when someone wants me, cleaning toilets and picking up toilet paper, or checking the grounds or mopping the floor so it does not smell. So people can be happy when they go inside because the toilet is clean.
It does not matter if you fall or break a bone, it will just make you braver. I have been working ever since 921 Project Hope, and I have continued chopping vegetables and cooking ever since, and I'm just as strong.
The most important thing is the Master is helping those everywhere which are suffering from disaster. Our work adds up and we can give money to those who are more disadvantaged. If we do it quickly, it won't be so troublesome.
One elderly man in Kaohsiung, Taiwan, forgot the correct password to enter his home. When a policeman came to help, he told him that his wife was sick and she was in the house, making this policeman very worried. However, after they entered the house successfully, the policeman could not find the old man's wife. It was until the old man was confirmed by his family that he suffers from dementia did the policeman know that he had forgotten his wife's passing. The news broke the policeman's heart, and the only thing he could do was to comfort the old man.
The day is very cold, and the elderly man forgot his password to his rental home, so he cannot enter. The police immediately called the man's family because of something he says. The grandfather is in a hurry to buy lunch for his wife, but after they have entered the house, they cannot find her. Pointing at the photo on the table, the elderly man said that his wife is sick and has disappeared. The police feels something isn't right, so he calls the family again.
The family said that the father has slight dementia, and the mother has passed away for a year. The father still cares about his wife, so he can't let it go.
The policeman is heartbroken at the news, so he cannot tell the grandfather the truth.
You must wait here. When she becomes better, she'll return. Don't worry about her, okay?
The policeman writes down the password on his business card so the elderly man can carry it along. The police will also contact the family to bring the grandfather to live with them, as he should not live by himself.
Kedah Tzu Chi volunteers held a year-end blessing ceremony at a local elementary school in Luquan. Volunteers also used the occasion to promote vegetarianism, inspiring more people to embrace a meatless diet. We will leave you with these images. Goodbye!